Jenny, Michael is over at my house right now. Good evening, Linda. Is that so? I haven't heard anything about that. He's talking about you made a nasty pasta yesterday. What is he talking about? What? He said it was delicious. I think he's just trying to be nice. Are you sure you can cook? Michael said it was too nasty. He doesn't want to eat there, so he came over. I can't believe you make him eat nasty foods. I see. I could eat it just fine though. Maybe it might not have suited Michael's taste. What are you talking about? What he eats is very important, you know? Right. You're just not good at cooking. I've heard him complain about the same thing. This is the first time I've heard about this. I had no idea he felt that way. You're a housewife. You should cook to satisfy your husband. Yeah, I know. Maybe you should take a class or use an app to help you with recipes. Why don't you learn to cook on your own? Okay. Anyways, Michael said he's going to eat here. He'd rather eat the food I made. I understand. Thank you. Hey, Jenny, Michael is here again. What? Again? Well, he said you use a different laundry detergent. Huh? That's the reason he's there? That's just ridiculous. What's ridiculous about it? You know he has sensitive skin, right? I didn't know it was that bad. He said he smelled something funny when he changed his clothes and it made him nauseous. He came to tell me that he wants me to do his laundry. I would have changed the detergent if he told me. Why does he always run to you? Michael's a nice boy, so he probably couldn't tell you. He's not a child. I wouldn't force Michael to use things he doesn't like. Why did you suddenly change the laundry detergent? What? Is there a need to tell you every time? I like the smell of it, so I used it. You really are a very inconsiderate wife, aren't you? That kind of sloppiness is what sticks out at Michael. Poor Michael. Huh? Michael has always been a very sensitive boy. So whenever I changed something, I'd always check with him. Check with him? Yes, like I changed the ketchup. I changed the toilet paper to single rolls. I changed the body soap. Oh, really? Even down to such small details? Yes, I told you he is sensitive. I'm not as careless as you. Michael doesn't have to feel surprised and uncomfortable. Maybe it was you who made him develop that habit. And I'm not careless either. You have to treat him with care. I don't feel comfortable leaving him in the hands of a stranger. Don't call me a stranger. Anyway, I'll talk to Michael once he comes home. Oh, Michael says he won't go home today. What? You mean he's staying over? Yes. Wouldn't it be exhausting to be around someone as careless as you? I told you I'm not careless. I'm working full time and still doing house chores. I don't have enough time. Don't blame it on work. You yourself is the problem. If you think it's because of your job, why don't you quit? What? I can't do that. That's what it is. I hope you think about all of this for Michael's sake. Good evening, Glenda. Can I ask, is Michael there with you? Yes, he's here. He just had dinner and now he's relaxing. I see. Then I didn't have to rush home. I texted him. You did? I told him I had to work overtime and I'll be home late. I finished up as fast as I could, went grocery shopping, and when I came home, he wasn't home. It would have been nice if he had informed me in advance that he was going there. I still had some work to do. What? Are you saying it's not okay for him to be here? No, it's not that. I just came home after a long day. I just wish he had given me a heads up. What's wrong with that? It's your fault for working so late, right? That's true, but as long as I'm working, there's nothing I can do about it. I have responsibilities too. You don't really care about your husband, huh? No, it's not that. Michael works for an elite company. I don't get why do you have to work so hard? I wish you take care of Michael more. He works so hard. Huh? If you take good care of him, he wouldn't have the need to come to my house. Yes, I'm sorry. Jenny, I have to tell you something. What is it? I'm thinking of having a Christmas party at our house. Really? I feel like it's the first time since we got married. Yes, it is. You've been calling it off lately because of all the sickness going around. I see. I'm thinking of inviting my sister and her family. That would be nice. I haven't seen them in a while. I'd love to see them. So, I've been thinking of making a nice meal. Could you help me? Of course. Then can I ask you to do shopping when you come to my house? Yeah, sure. I want to get those cakes that's been going viral on social media. What? It's like $30 a piece. There will be a lot of people, so we need to buy Christmas decorations too. Come on. I want to go all out for Christmas, you know? I want my sister to try those cakes too. Well, yes, but if it's within your budget, I'll buy it for you. Please do. I really want to try it. Okay, it'll get crowded, so we'll have to get there early. Then I'll make a reservation for you. Please do. And since it's Christmas, we'll need roast chicken, right? Can you get some too? I also want to have some pasta and some salad. So can you order some of that too? That's a lot of food, isn't it? You have a car, so it should be fine. I don't think I can go to the store by myself. No problem. I'll have Michael help me. What? Michael is going to stay here the day before. Really? He said he'll come the night before so he could have some good sleep. Your son is so careless. Huh? No, never mind. But I think it's too much to do by myself. That's the least you could do. What? You always put work first. You should at least try your best for your family on Christmas, right? I don't care how much of a stranger you are. At least act like a family member. Please don't call me a stranger. I'm part of the family too. Don't get too sassy. I understand. I'll do my best to go around by myself. It will be around noon, but please wait for me. Okay, I'll wait for you. Thank you. Jenny, what are you doing? Why are you not here yet? My sisters got here before you. How long are you going to make us wait? I'm sorry. It's crowded everywhere. It's taking a while. I left first thing in the morning, though. You're totally useless. How can you say I'm useless when I'm the one who has to do all the shopping? It was a lot of work to do all this by myself. That's normal as a wife. You always act like it's someone else's problem. That's not true. I'm sure I'll get there soon. Please enjoy chatting with everyone for a while. Do you think you're the one who's in charge? You must have misunderstood something. Excuse me? It's not like you're the one in charge or anything. Why should we bend over backward for someone like you who's always just on the sidelines? Oh, excuse me. I got carried away with the Christmas spirit. I spoke a bit too assertively. I apologize. Instead of wasting time with misunderstandings, just hurry up and bring the food. You're not being helpful in times of need. It's frustrating. Glenda, you don't have to say all that. It's Christmas. Every popular restaurants are busy. I have to wait for a while. It's crowded everywhere. Geez, you're so naggy. Stop complaining and just bring us the food. I'm sorry. I'll hurry. Jenny, text me back. Why did you leave right before we were going to eat the cake? We were all looking forward to having a great Christmas party and you've just ruined it. Seriously? Do you know what you just did? What are you talking about? Stop acting like you don't know anything. What was that about? What? Are you mad about the cake? I can't give you the fancy one. If you're hungry, go eat some dog food. You know what? I bought that fancy cake, remember? I went out of my way to make the reservation and even went out there early to be in line. I was all excited, thinking everyone would be happy, but dog food? Seriously? What were you thinking? Oh, really? Be grateful you even got food. Besides, I bought everything with my own money. You have no idea how much it cost me. I haven't even got paid for it. It's unacceptable. I mean, you've been working late every day, right? You probably get paid enough, so this is nothing. Huh? It's Christmas, so stop complaining so much. Who do you think you are to even have some fancy cake? A useless wife like you, leeching off others, deserves nothing but dog food. What? You're nothing but a stranger, not even related by blood. You're no better than a dog. Are you being serious? Why would you think I'm joking? Well, if you're going to say that, then fine. I'd divorce Michael without hesitation. What? Why is divorce suddenly on the table? Don't you think you're overreacting? No, I've been thinking about it for a while. What? What's going to happen to Michael? He's mostly staying with you, right? What's the point of being married if he's never home? When I messaged him about the cake incident earlier, you know what he said? Isn't that obvious? Don't think a useless stranger like you can eat expensive cake? That's my boy. I guess he thinks of you the same way I do. I told him there's no point in being married like this anymore and suggested divorce. He told me to do whatever I want. So that means he wants a divorce too, right? I see. I guess you don't have a choice. Seems like you lack the awareness of being a proper wife, huh? Well, that's what I was hoping for, though. I see. So that's how it is. Your family is quite something. You all are terrible. I've had enough. I'm glad I could finally divorce him. Oh, aren't you straightforward? Well, say what you want. After all, you're just a stranger who will never be a part of our family, right? I'll pack my bags and leave. Sure, go ahead and do that. Don't worry about Michael. He'll be fine as long as he got me. Good. I'll send you the divorce papers. Tell Michael to sign it so we can finalize it. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure they're filed. Jenny, pick up the phone. Can you at least text me back? What is it? I'm working. Jenny, where do you live now? Why do I have to tell you? You're a stranger. You don't have to be so harsh. I have better things to do. What do you want? Wait a moment. Actually, Michael has been behind on his rent. It's for last month's rent. When I checked, it seems he won't be able to pay this month's either. I figured. I've been the one who's been paying it. Why? I thought he was the one paying for it. You're his mother and you don't know anything about it? Michael is out of work. He's been unemployed for a year already. What? Unemployed? So I've been covering not only the rent but also all the living expenses. I thought it was outrageous to kick me out. But I was fed up too, so I decided to go through with the divorce. What do you mean he's not working? He was working for an elite company, but he complained too much about how he doesn't get paid enough. He doesn't like his boss and his coworkers are useless. After all the complaining, he decided to quit without even discussing it with me. Basically, he couldn't keep up with the demands of that tough job market. Oh no, he's a hard worker. Didn't you find it strange that he was always at your house? What? Michael was hanging out there during the day every day. Normally, he would still be at work till the evening. You didn't find it strange that he would go over to your house during the day? Well, that's true. That's right. So I had to work late every day. He did some part-time jobs and went to an employment service centers, but nothing lasted. And what do you think happened next? I don't know. He said, I'm working anyway, so there's no need for him to work. I really thought he was a jerk. He's the husband and he doesn't do anything. But you would say terrible things to me. That's when I started thinking about divorcing him. Michael told me you have your own business. Is it true? Yes, it was a hobby, but then I started making money off of it, so I decided to make it a business. I didn't know that. That's why I've been working so late. I've been working so hard, and your son is always at home being lazy. Spent the whole year being a bum, just eating snacks and watch movies all day. I see. Despite that, he would go to your place and complain about me. You two are really assholes. Assholes? What a terrible thing to say. He's unemployed. There's no way he can pay the rent. Well, then pay for it. You have your own business. I'm sure you have money. Why would I do that? We are strangers, remember? I'm no better than a dog, right? That's a figure of speech. Please forget it. How can I forget? After all the horrible things you said, there's no reason for me to pay the rent anymore. You two were married, so why don't you help him out? We barely spend time together and he's always with you. Is that how a married couple should be? I'm just a stranger to him. Don't say that. Why don't you just get back together? Have you lost your mind? You can still get back together. Then you can pay for the rent. I bet Michael can't live without you. How convenient. I'm never going to get back with that bum, and I won't pay for his rent either. Why would I even do that? We're divorced. He's a stranger. I'll tell you again, you two are strangers to me. Please don't depend on me. Please, Jenny. If you're so worried, why don't you tell him to live with you? He doesn't have to stay in that apartment. You have space for him. I can't. I'm living on a pension. I can't afford to take care of him. I can't pay for the rent too. So if you get back together and pay the rent, we won't have any problems. It's fine, right? Fine? What the hell do you think I am? I told you, I'm a stranger. If you want to ask for someone's help, ask your relatives. I can't. That's too embarrassing. I think it's more embarrassing to ask a stranger like me. You're his ex-wife. I could care less. Why don't you ask your son to get a job instead? He's been unemployed and playing around for a year now. Unless you change your son, you'll have a hard time for the rest of your life. This is no longer my concern. Goodbye. Jenny, wait. Are you really not going to help us? Are you just going to give up on us like this? Absolutely. I'll be the stranger you wanted me to be. Don't ever try to reach out again. Oh no. What am I supposed to do? After that, my ex-mother-in-law had no choice but to start working part-time. However, she was disliked by everyone around her. She had a hard time keeping one job for a long time. Michael, on the other hand, being unemployed for a year made it hard for him to find a job. I heard they're always fighting each other. About me, I bought myself a small space and been trying to work hard every day. I want to work hard to create designs that satisfy my clients even more than now.
Hello, Mary. Do you have a moment? Oh, hello. Should I still be calling you by your first name? I don't know if it's right for me to be calling you Mom just yet, you know? I think you're right. It's too soon for you to be calling me Mom. I'm not your mother. Yet, anyways. Oh, sorry to put you on the spot like that. Well, let's start over then, shall we? Hello, Hillary. Thanks for coming to meet me and my parents the other day. It was great to finally meet you. Yes, that's the thing. Don't mention it. So, what can I do for you today? I have a question for you, and I would appreciate an honest answer. You and my husband work at the same company, do you not? And furthermore, you recently started working in the same department together. Is that true? Yes, that's right. Actually, I heard from Andrew a while ago that his dad was working at the same company as me. But I was totally surprised when I walked into the room where you two were waiting, and who should I see but the person who just got transferred into my branch recently? It was a total surprise. Well, I suppose our family name is somewhat of a common one, so it doesn't surprise me one bit that you wouldn't suspect that we were related when you saw that we had the same last names. But that's not the issue I'm here to discuss today. The issue is your reproachful behavior towards my husband. What? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Did I do something that offended him? Offended? Oh, that's nowhere near strong enough a word to describe your attitude towards my husband. When I left to go to the little girl's room, I saw him apologizing profusely to you, and you were lecturing him like he was a school child. I know my eyes were not deceiving me to see that horrible behavior. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to see that. Oh, how dare you behave that way toward the man who will be your future father-in-law! And not to mention, he's been with the company far longer than you have. He must be well above your rank, obviously. And in spite of all that, you were behaving like you were his superior. How shameless of you. I bit my tongue at the time out of concern for my son's feelings for you, but I cannot contain my anger any longer. If you're willing to apologize to me right now for your awful behavior, I'm willing to overlook it. But if you don't, then I withdraw my permission for you to marry my son and my blessings on a happy wedding. Are you serious? I am very serious, and I will not accept any excuses from you, Mary. Either apologize to me, or you can forget being a part of this family. Okay, just so you know, we were actually talking about something to do with work that day. And in your husband's position, really the only appropriate thing to do would be to apologize. Excuse me? Really, it was kind of a surprise for me too when he suddenly started acting like that. I told him it was okay and that he didn't need to apologize so much, but, you know, he just kept going. And I wish I could give you more information on what really went down, but like I said, it's company internal matters, so I'm contractually not able to divulge any information to uninvolved third parties such as yourself, ma'am. Oh, don't talk to me with this legal jargon. What do you mean, internal matters? I mean exactly what I said. It's a company matter, and since you're not involved, I'm not able to discuss it with you. I get that you'd like to know more about what happened, but please understand that I cannot tell you any more than I've already have. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But in any case, it seems like you have no intention to apologize to me. It's like I told you, I'm not the one who has anything to apologize for. I see. So you have no remorse for treating your soon-to-be father-in-law. So be it. I will not allow you to marry my son, and the wedding is off! I don't think you're in any position to make that call, Hillary. I think this goes without saying, but the fault in the situation lies 100% with you, Mary. As such, you'll be responsible for paying for all of the venue cancellation fees. I'll be contacting our lawyer very shortly, and we'll be suing you for that and for the pain and suffering that you have caused this family. Andrew?
Hey, Mary. What's up?
This is bad. Really bad.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Your mom saw your dad apologizing to me at your house the other day.
Oh, boy.
She texted me about that just now. And she is really, really mad. Which, in all fairness, I don't really blame her, considering that she doesn't know the whole circumstances, but still, this is bad. She said that if I don't apologize to her for that she's gonna make us break off our engagement.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I had literally just made an explicit promise not to tell anyone about what happened, so it's not like I can just up and spill the beans to her.
Oh, why are my parents always doing things like this? They're inseparable to the point that I almost never see one without the other in the same room, and yet when trouble rears its ugly head, they take completely opposite approaches.
It seems like you're pretty used to this kind of thing from them, huh?
Sorry about that, I just felt the urge to vent. Anyway, for now, I'd like to see the texts Mom sent you, if you wouldn't mind. Is it okay if I head over to your place right now?
Yeah, come on over, it's fine.
Okay, I'll be there in just about an hour or so.
Alright, I'll be waiting for you. Hello there, Mary. Have you prepared yourself for the impending breakup with my son? I haven't heard a thing from you ever since I gave you my ultimatum, so now I'm forced to message you like this. I grow more disappointed with you by the day. How long were you going to keep me waiting? You really are an impudent little girl, aren't you? If you're trying to wait it out and hope I forgive you, it's not going to work. I will not consent to this marriage until you've given me a proper apology. If I may be so bold, I'm marrying Andrew, not you. Why exactly do I need to have your consent? Oh, excuse me? I doubt that Andrew would want to break off our engagement because I won't apologize over a situation in which I did nothing wrong. And frankly, I'm perplexed that you would simply assume that I was in the wrong rather than talking to your husband and finding out what actually happened. That's very immature of you. I'm at a loss of words for you, Mary. To think that you would speak in such an uncivilized manner to the mother of the man you're hoping to marry! Hoping? Yes, hoping! I haven't opened up my consent for you just yet, have I? Oh, I must have missed where we established that I even needed your consent. You little... Stop interrupting me! I'm giving you the lecture that you deserve right now! Oh, right. By all means, go ahead. If a family were like a company, then the mother-in-law is like the superior and the daughter-in-law is the subordinate. And subordinates are supposed to listen to their superiors, correct? If you were to fuss and fret and whine over an order your superior at the company gave you, well, how do you think that would go? Obviously, no superior would stand for that sort of insubordination. You would be punished severely, and you would be demoted. Your pay would be cut, you'd be transferred, and your professional life would be finished. Surely even someone of your intellectual capacity could understand what I just explained. Yes, I understand perfectly. So I take this to mean that if someone at a real company actually was repeatedly insubordinate to their superior, then you'd have no issues with that subordinate receiving those type of punishments you laid out, correct? Exactly. Subordinates should know their place. A subordinate who does not and openly disrespects his superior should not go unpunished. Hillary, you are so smart, and I agree with you. Alright, that settles it. Looks like your husband is getting transferred. What? Technically, the final call isn't mine to make, but you should probably operate under the assumption that it's going to happen, so I think you should start preparing accordingly to this. Wait, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm sure you're about to become very busy. Since you're going to be moving soon, you should probably start looking for a new house or an apartment, as soon as you get the word of where he's being transferred to. Wait, Mary, what are you talking about? What are you rambling about right now? So, sorry, I gotta go. I have some stuff to do. I need to get back to work. Hello there, Mary. It's been so long since we've seen each other. Would you like to come over and have some afternoon tea with me someday soon? Maybe tomorrow. What are you doing? A friend of mine gave me a box of the most wonderful tea the other day, and I knew I had to share it with you. Oh, and I'm also going to pick up some cake from that new pastry shop downtown. Are you free this weekend? I'd love to have you over to our house if you don't mind. I guess this is your last-ditch effort to stop the inevitable, huh? Well, don't you think you're laying it on a wee bit too thick right now, Hillary? Mary, I guess you finally heard the truth then. About my husband and your husband's position in the company. I heard everything. Come to find out, my husband is a complete useless employee who keeps getting sent around to different departments once he makes too much of a mess for them to deal with. And 3 months ago, he got sent to a new department to work under a young and upcoming leader in the company who happens to be you, Mary. He was frustrated and embarrassed that someone as young as you was placed above someone else who has been in the company as long as him. So he got desperate to prove himself and started working at a faster pace than ever before, which ended up causing a world of problems for your clients and other departments. And since you're his direct superior, you're the one who always had to clean up for his messes. Yeah, that just about covers it. So the reason he was apologizing that day when you came over to meet my parents and I was because he was so shocked to learn that his son's fiancée was none other than the boss he had been causing so much trouble for at the office. And he was desperate to keep you from finding out about what a total disaster his career has been. He was begging me not to tell you that I was his boss. And I had to stop him from getting on his knees and begging me, and that's probably why you thought that I was lecturing him. So you weren't lecturing my husband, you were just trying to get him to maintain his dignity. Oh, and by the way, I guess he was counting on Andrew taking his side and helping to convince me to help him out. He was all like, "You're a man too, son, aren't you? You must know what sort of position I'm in." But Andrew wasn't going for it at all. He just let out a huge sigh and walked out of the room. I see. So that's what happened. I've always been the type to have a pretty solid separation between my work life and my private life. And since our relationship at work would probably only serve to cause problems between us as a family, I didn't have any intentions of bossing him around outside of work. At first, anyway. Then I found out what your husband had been doing at the office ever since he found out I was marrying Andrew. He's been name-dropping me at the company and trying to get other people to give him credit for their work. Like threatening to get them fired if they didn't do as he demanded. He did. I received multiple complaints of that nature from multiple employees in my department. So I made a report of my own to my superior. And as a result, it's been decided that your husband is getting transferred to a branch in, well, the middle of nowhere. Oh no. Oh yes. And you should be grateful, honestly. Most people who screwed up as bad as your husband actually would just get fired for everything they've done. And I bet the only reason he didn't was because the CEO took pity on him. He didn't want to just kick a man your husband's age on the curb with no future employment prospects. Mary, isn't there anything you can do about this? Sorry, Hillary, but the decision is already out of my hands. What's done is done. So no, I'm afraid sucking up to me now isn't going to get you anywhere. You'll either have to move out into Nowheresville with your husband, or make him go by himself while you stay here alone in your house. This can't be happening! I suppose there is a third option. You could always divorce him, but that's about all you have in terms of options when you really think about it. I can't do that! I haven't worked in years, and I can't get divorced at my age! Okay, well, then you're just going to have to talk to your husband about this. What you do from here on out is an issue between the two of you that has nothing to do with me. Wait, I've got it! I know how we can make this all work out. Oh, really? Okay, let's hear it. I'll give you my permission to marry Andrew, and you can move in with us. And if you do that, then I'm sure that everything will work out, whether I divorce my husband or he moves away by himself. That is definitely not happening. Why not? Andrew has been pretty firm since day one that he did not want to move in with you at any point in the future. And I'm respecting my future husband's wishes. But I'm sorry, Hillary, but I really don't see the point of continuing this conversation. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself at this point. Mary, please! I'm signing off now. After that, I understood Andrew's parents got into a massive fight. Hillary needed someone to finance her lifestyle, and her husband needed someone to take care of all of the housework. And since neither of them were likely to find a replacement for the other at their age, they decided not to get divorced. So the not-so-happy couple set off for their new life in Nowheresville. However, it didn't take long for her husband to screw up big time, no surprise to anybody, again, in his new post. And this time, they actually were fed up and let him go. And this was apparently too much of a strain for their relationship to handle, so they are getting a divorce this time. They've both been messaging and calling Andrew complaining about the whole situation, but he only ever gives them the same simple response every time. You're getting what you deserve! Andrew is finally fed up with them and wants to cut them out of our lives. So we're making preparations to move in secret so they won't know where to find us. I'm glad to see that he's finally free from having to deal with their nonsense after all these years. And we decided that we didn't want our marriage to resemble his parents in any way, shape, or form. So when we got married the other day, he took my last name instead.